Well, hello there. Welcome to Ordinary Guys Bourbon. Today on the program, a very special guest, a person who's anything but ordinary, my good friend, Eric Fuller. Eric, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dave.
Eric,
Glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Dave, I'm born in Michigan. I'm a controls engineer for the last 32 years. Spent most of my time up in Michigan, contracting to Ford, GM, Chrysler.
Okay.
Moved down to Illinois to work at an electric vehicle company.
Mm-hmm.
I was down here for 2 years, and then my wife joined me down here after our youngest kid graduated high school.
Okay. You got 2 kids?
2 kids, yep.
And one of them's in the Navy?
One's in the Navy, a mechanical nuclear engineer.
Wow.
And the other one is going after his second master's at Notre Dame right now.
Wow, in South Bend.
In South Bend.
Okay, I know a little bit about that area.
Yeah.
And controls engineer, a lot of times I see people calling themselves controls engineers, but then sometimes they call themselves automation engineers. What's the difference? Are they the exact same?
They're the exact same, but automation engineer will deal more with the robotics and automation lines.
Okay.
Controls engineer is basically, they can work in any industry.
Okay.
Across the...
How do you get started in that? Because there's no program that says like, hey, I'm in high school, right, or college or vocational school, whatever. That's like, hey, let me start learning about ones and zeros and PLCs. Like that doesn't exist.
No.
Like, how do you get into that?
How I did it is I worked with fellow employees and they taught me. So it's basically self-taught. You have to want to learn, want to grow. Everything. Like you said, there is no college that will teach you what you need to do. No.
Yeah.
No, it's all self-motivated and self-taught.
That's a gap in the system.
Yeah.
Right. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at when we had to. What was it, like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago? We had a shortage of controls engineers.
Yeah.
And that was real at the time.
Yes.
And I think we must have hired like 50 people, and we couldn't find them. I think that 50 people we hired. I think the breakdown of that was like 3 guys from the U.S., 45 guys from Mexico, and 2 guys from other.
Yep.
If that was a pie chart, maybe I'll put a pie chart in the editing, who knows? That's fascinating though, fascinating. And a lot of detailed work.
Yep.
And then when you have different robots function differently.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They're programmed differently.
3 different kinds of robots. They're
at the electric company, yeah. But like I didn't even realize there were so many different kinds of PLCs, right? Like I knew, what Alan Bradley, Beckhoff is a relatively new
up and coming,
But there's like Mitsubishi has a PLC. I'm sure there's like
Siemens has a PLC.
There was a guy that you worked with, Todd Hamlin, and he had some kind of posting about like. Head-to-head, like March Madness of the best PLCs in industry, which only is appealing to people that are controls engineers, by the way.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it, and like I recognized like 3 of the names, and then some of the names like Mitsubishi, like I thought they were a TV maker.
Yeah.
I know in Illinois they're the best auto maker in the world, but everywhere else I thought they just made TVs.
Yeah.
Right, and VCRs. So originally from Michigan, and you're here on the Bourbon Show, but really, I always thought of you more as a craft beer person, and then the shirt kind of.
Yeah. So ever since my brother introduced me to IPAs.
Okay.
Before that, I drank whatever, but then I got on the IPA.
And that's really your go.
Yeah, that is my go.
Really?
Is IPAs? Yeah.
Really.
And then ever since that, the craft beer scene took off, and then me and my wife go to like every brewery that we can find within a driving distance in a day.
You see back here, this is I think these are all the bars. So these are all the breweries in Detroit, in Michigan.
Okay. Yep.
And these are all the bars in Detroit, right? And I was thinking about going through and like Jolly Pumpkin. I've been there, obviously, everyone has. Yeah. But I thought about going through this and like there's shorts. But like coloring them in.
Yep. Which one
as I visited that, and the camera won't see this because the camera's cut like right here. But I'll zoom in and put a picture of that on there.
Yeah, I recognize quite a few of those. So yeah.
Huh. I wonder if all those exist still.
But yeah, here in Illinois, I think we've hit every brewery within a 100-mile radius.
Well, there's like 4 or 5 right here in the Bloomington Normal region, right? Yeah. So out of those, which one would you say is the best?
White Oak.
Better than Little Beaver?
Yeah. Yep. I enjoy White Oak. Just a small little place. My kind of crowd.
They enjoy you, I know that.
They enjoy me.
Yeah. And so for work, you talk about traveling around Illinois, traveling around craft beer breweries. You've been on a little bit of a traveling, adventure the last little bit, right?
Yeah, last 6 weeks. Yeah, I spent 2 weeks in China. I came home for a week to get the wife her visa, and then we went back over. She went back over for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I went back over for 4.5 weeks. So
wow.
Total like 6.5 weeks for me in China.
And how was that?
It's good. The people are nice. Everything's easy. You just use your phone for everything, so you don't carry your wallet, your credit cards, nothing.
Everything's on Apple Pay or Google
it's
Pay?
It's called WeChat, but yeah.
WeChat?
Yep. You get your taxis, you pay for your food.
Really?
Everything.
That's not what I read on the Truth Social.
Yeah.
They did not say China was a good and friendly place.
Oh, no.
I
enjoyed myself, and everybody was accommodating. We'd go to restaurants, couldn't figure out how to order, and the people next to us would help us
really
get through it. They
That's
know
fantastic.
a little bit of English, and they would help us order. And
that's all they need.
Yeah.
So people don't speak like a lot of countries that you go to, even if their native language isn't English, they still have learned English. They can all pretty much speak English. They just don't like to.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like that.
Not
It's very much.
Yeah. There are areas where you'll find them, but it's the real touristy spots.
Okay.
But we were in rural areas, and not rural areas, but big cities, but
more manufacturing based,
more
not an
manufacturing.
international presence so much.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, it was interesting. The food was delicious.
Yeah.
Never had a bad meal. Yeah, we really enjoyed ourselves.
Is there a lot of seafood in China?
Yeah. Basically anything that moves, grows, or walks, or yeah.
That's very efficient. It's very efficient.
Anything.
Simon, run away.
Yeah.
Run away, Simon.
Pretty much.
So, but the flight from Illinois, I assume you fly out of Chicago, right?
Well, no, we flew out of Peoria. But,
really?
Yeah.
So Peoria goes to then what? Dallas or
Chicago.
Okay.
And then
So going backwards and then.
Yeah. So when I flew out there the first time in 2 weeks, I flew Bloomington, Atlanta, to Korea, to Tianjin.
Okay.
So then I flew back the same way, and then when I flew out with the wife, we flew from Peoria, Chicago, to Germany, and then over to.
So you went the other way.
So I could say I went around the world.
That's fascinating.
In 1 week.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Is it hard? I mean, people talk about. I've been a NAFTA traveler, right? I've never gone outside of the furthest west I've gone. I mean, I've been to Irvine, right? I've been to San Diego, right? Once. But apart from that, I mean, probably Mexicali is probably the furthest west I've been on a regular basis,
Okay.
which is pretty far west, I guess.
Yeah.
And the furthest east I've been, I think, is probably Austin.
Really?
That's it.
Not even going to Europe?
Right in that strip. No, never. Is it hard to adjust? I mean, like, that's a half a day time zone difference.
Yeah.
Do you sleep on the plane?
Sleep on the plane, a lot of sleep.
Like this?
Well, no, I get to relax a little bit. I got a little neck pillow, help out. But I've traveled so much in the years, like sleeping on the plane is
really
nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
Back in my younger days, I would travel like years for like the whole year, but I'd just come home every 2 weeks.
Really?
About 4 days, and then go back out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. So all the travel, but your home is still
with my wife.
Yeah, Michigan's your home.
Michigan's your home. Yeah.
And you know, over the last couple of years when we worked together, before I abandoned everybody, there was you were big on the going up north, big snowmobile trips, and was it just snowmobiling or?
Well, no, side by side. So when I got out of school, back when I graduated high school, we bought sled or snowmobiles, and we'd go up north with my buddies.
Okay.
Then we like stopped doing it, and then kids grew up. They're out of the house. We all got side by sides.
So you're a side by side person now, or a snowmobile, or both?
No, just side by side.
Just side by side.
I don't like going up in the winter anymore and getting cold.
Okay. But so I've been up north. We were in Traverse City a week ago, right?
Yep.
And you drive and you see the trails, right? And I didn't see anyone cross. Actually, we did see some like more adventure side by sides.
Yeah.
Like one was stuck on the culvert next to the road.
Oh, yeah.
Which I didn't think they got stuck really.
Well, it depends on the driver.
Yeah, well, this guy.
A lot of depends on the driver.
But like, you're going pretty fast, right? Yeah. How fast do those things go?
My particular one will top out at like 90
miles an hour.
Miles an hour. Yeah.
And is that a comfortable ride going on a dirt road, or is that pretty bumpy? I mean, they have a lot of suspension.
It's pretty. It's floating at 90 mile an hour in a dirt road.
But like, you could easily lose control.
Yeah. It is high stakes.
Is that part of
you got the trees like inches away on either side?
And like a deer or an elk.
Yeah.
You know, is that part of the allure? Is the danger?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you wear are you all suited up with the gloves and the helmet?
Nope. All I got is a 5-point harness on.
You didn't even bother with the helmet?
No helmet.
The visor, or just rely on the windshield?
Just the windshield. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do that at night or just during the day?
Both. I prefer night riding.
Really?
Yeah.
But aren't there more wildlife to encounter?
But you have your rig that has all the lights on it, so it's all lit up, so you can basically see a mile down the road.
But like, people hit deer with cars all the time, and they've got headlights.
Yeah. It's chance. It's all certain. Yeah.
And when you go for the north, like I remember, like you get to like Houghton Lake area, and if you pull over on like a rest area, but that must be like now we're in an area where we start talking about elk. Maybe it's further north than that.
A little bit further.
But either way, like we were at one of the rest areas, and you look at the old map, right? They got there like, oh, you are here, and it says, just so you guys know, here's the size of a deer, and then the overlay is here's the size of an elk, right? And you're thinking about, I mean, they didn't have a moose on there, but they have moose in the UP.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so.
I think so.
I've never seen one. Yeah.
But like, you hit a moose.
Yeah.
I mean, a deer's a tiny little deer. It's still gonna do some damage.
Oh yeah.
Right? You hit an elk.
Yeah.
You hit a moose.
Yeah.
Adios.
All the riding we've done, we've seen wildlife, but it's always, nobody's ever in our group. Nobody's ever hit any animals. They've hit other things,
but you like side by side more than snowmobile.
Yeah.
Would you go back in snowmobile now?
Occasionally I'll go. My dad will want to go snowmobile riding, so we'll go up, just rent some sleds and go out in the day, and then come back. So,
and that's also still super fast.
Yeah. Then we'll go anywhere 120.
Can they go over water? Like I've seen videos of them going over.
Yeah. No, I've never done it, but my buddies have done it before. I just could never.
I mean, if you're a couple hundred feet in the water and it doesn't work out,
your sled's going down.
Your sled's done. You're not getting that out, right? You can go out there with I don't know. Let's talk about this bourbon we've got today. We've got a bourbon called Larceny, right? The last couple episodes we've had on the show, we've been a little bit more. We've gone away from our roots of focusing on bourbon, right? Okay. We had a 2-part mini series with Siddhartha, which was bourbon adjacent, right? So we had I think it was a Scotch that was finished in tequila barrels, and then we had not a brandy, cognac finished in bourbon barrels, right? So it was interesting, but we're gonna go back to our root. And I think sandwiching this episode, we have a review of a bourbon called Lucaroo, which is actually pretty good. And my wife would have just gotten back from an Alaskan cruise, and she had picked up some bourbon that I think is only available in Alaska. And we had that. So let's go back to mainstream here, right? Which is more available. This is Larceny. It's, quote, a wheated bourbon that goes against the grain. That's what they say. It was first released in 2012 from Heaven Hill Distillery. Larceny is considered one of the most successful new-to-the-world bourbons introduced in recent years. It's a small batch, meaning that Heaven Hill dumps 100 or fewer barrels at a time. That's what they say. Not really anything that really defines what a small batch is, but 100 barrels at a time. It's aged from 6 to 12 years. It's a wheated bourbon, meaning that wheat is used instead of rye as the third or small grain in the mash bill. The full mash bill is 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. So here's a quick history lesson for you. Larceny was introduced in 2012, and it carries the John E. Fitzgerald name on the bottle. The Old Fitzgerald brand has roots back to 1870 when John E. Fitzgerald built a distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky and began distilling spirits. The brand went through a few acquisitions, as a lot of these bourbon companies do, before becoming property of the Distillers Limited Company of Scotland in 1984. In 1986, they merged with the Guinness Company to form United Distillers, and then became Diageo's brand in 1997. Heaven Hill purchased Old Fitzgerald brand along with some other assets from Diageo in 1999. Larceny was originally released only to select markets and wasn't available nationally until 2017. So even more recent. I didn't realize that. So let's go ahead with this John E. Fitzgerald name, because that's what this is all based on. One story has this Fitzgerald character as a distiller. Remember, he, quote, built a distillery in 1870? But according to the biography of the Pappy Van Winkle family in the book, quote, Always Fine Bourbon, written by Julian P. Pappy Van Winkle's granddaughter, Fitzgerald was, in fact, just a bonded U.S. Treasury agent. And U.S. Treasury agents at the time were the only people allowed to carry one of the 2 keys to the barrel storage rickhouses. And Fitzgerald liked fine bourbon. So in the version of the story, Fitzgerald purchased the 2nd key from the rickhouses from an employee before he left, so Fitz had both keys to get into the bonded warehouses. So eventually barrels would be found that were lighter than they should have been, and these lighter barrels became known as, at the distillery, as Fitzgerald barrels, which brings the Larceny name full circle. You can read most of this on the label if you have incredible eyesight, because part of that story is on the back of the bottle, written in the smallest letters I've ever seen in my life. So this is Larceny. It's a $25 bottle, but when I bought this, I had a $5 rebate on it. I like rebates. So very, very approachable in price, right?
Easy to find.
Easy to find. Not very old, right? 2012 is when it was first released. It's got some lineage in Heaven Hill and some of the transference that happened. The story is cute. A lot of bourbons come with a cute story, though.
So is it a spin-off of Heaven Hill? Or just like...
No, it's just one of their brands.
One of the brands.
One of the brands. Okay. Yeah. So that's Larceny. So here's how we do things. We got a neat sample here. Cheers to you, Eric.
Cheers.
What do you think?
Does that burn?
No, not really. I don't know what the proof is in this bottle here. 92 proof, so that's I wonder why when they come up with something like this, why do they make it a 90? A lot of them are 90. You know, there's 90s, there's 100, and then you start getting into the higher proof, like 110, 115. Like a barrel proof is usually like 126, 130.
Yeah.
But 92 seems like a real
weird
number, you know? Because when they're pouring this out of the barrels, it's higher than that. And then they temper it down with their natural spring water or whatever.
Yeah.
So
the limestone water.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So it's like the Alaskan bourbon you were mentioning. It's like, where's that distilled?
It's that one is distilled. It's called Denali Spirits, and I really wanted to like it more than we did. It didn't have a good review, but you know. Every bourbon company has its shtick, right? There was a Widow Jane. We did a review of Baby Jane, and that's a popular niche kind of bourbon that's out there. And when you read through it, it's like they sourced the water allegedly from some like abandoned granite cave in like upstate New York. I don't know if that was true or not. It sure didn't seem like it was true. Kentucky distilleries will say that their natural limestone water is part of the secret, right? That and the climate, right? So as the bourbon's aging, the climate is conducive to it going in and out of the barrels, creating that flavor profile. I'm not sure how much it really matters, you know?
It's all like the rotation, right? You gotta keep rotating the barrels.
Or where it's at in the rick house, right? So like, you think about it, if you're close to a window, right, you're gonna have more airflow maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, the ones in the center got nothing.
Yeah, there's all these legendary stories of like Elmer T. Lee, he'd go to a certain spot, or Colonel Blanton, he'd go to a certain spot in the rick house and that's where his honey barrels were, because that was the place. Who knows if that's all true, right? And that's for a different program. Ooh, that's the important guys. So you've got your ballot, your official Ordinary Guys Bourbon tasting ballot here.
Okay.
And you've obviously watched the show every single episode, I think, as soon as they come out. So the first category is heritage, right? And the maximum score here is 20. So what do you think?
Heritage. Oh, that's it. Say good 12.
That's a good score. Yeah. I think I'm right there as well. I'm gonna go with 12 as well. Because again, like,
I mean, it has a nice story.
it has a nice story, but like the thing about it is that like a lot of these companies that pop up, like Detroit City Distillery, nothing against Detroit City Distillery or Journeyman Distillery, those are both Michigan products, right? They pop up and they're creating some great products, but they're creating them from scratch. They're Rivian minus the IPO money, right?
Yeah.
Compare that with a company like General Motors that has that 120 years of experience doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like they've got more money, they've got more capital, right? They've got more knowledge, they've got more experience, right? Not as sexy as Rivian.
Yeah, they have advertising
Yeah.
budget.
But so they have that tie-in with Heaven Hill, and even going with when they were bouncing around in the 80s to or the John Fitzgerald bouncing around for a little while there. But either way, when you've got that lineage behind you, that would be like if General Motors introduced a new brand like Saturn. Oh, maybe that's not a good example.
That's not a good example.
Taste and drinkability. Our maximum here is 40.
I'm gonna go with 31.
I'm going to put something a little bit higher. I think 34. I think it's a good offering. Here's a quick tip. Affordability. This, like I said, this was a $25 offering, which is almost like the bottom, right? Of you've got.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the price when you told me that.
You've got bourbons you can get for $12 a fifth, right?
Yeah.
And maybe those are fine. Like a Jim Beam Black is my standard that I look at, because a fifth of that is, depending on what state you're buying it in, like a $22 bottle. And it's aged 7 years. It comes from a juggernaut that knows what they're doing, right? And if you can get that for $22, that's a screw top. That's a big negative.
Screw top,
It's a screw top. This is
a little bit of harsher finish.
Barely.
Really?
Barely. I mean, I think they're very, very similar.
Okay.
But this is $25 with that $5 rebate.
Yeah, but do you get a $5 rebate on?
Actually, I don't know if I actually got this $5 rebate. You see that like every spring, summer they'll have like the Molson Coors. You buy these beers, you get like a PayPal.
Yeah.
PayPal.
Yeah.
Right.
No, thank you.
I don't know if I get it or
I'll
not.
just buy my beer.
But I fill them out. I fill them out all the time. It's free money.
Yeah. Do you actually get the money back?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
But it's like when you get a rebate back, to me, like Menards is a little bit different than 11%. But I look at a rebate when I get that postcard rebate in the mail, or the email saying, "Hey, I got a $5 deposit in my PayPal account."
Mm-hmm.
It's like putting on your winter jacket for the first time and finding a 20 in the pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you didn't expect to have this. It's just free money. It makes you happy.
Yeah. I said
Right.
I've tried the rebates a lot, and sometimes I just never get nothing.
Yeah. But then when you do,
Yeah.
what if?
Like the $20 bill?
Yeah.
I like it.
So affordability has a maximum score of 30. And I'm gonna go with a 28 on this. Not 26. I'm gonna go with on this one.
Yeah. I was thinking 27.
And then our last category is design. This is like a catch-all. Maximum is 10. And it's really just what do we think about the bottle? What do we think about the story, because that's part of the design, right? The tie-in, what they're trying to sell us, the marketing aspect of it.
Yeah. I like the story of the guy getting by the 2 keys. And...
That is pretty. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
But back in the day, the guy just wants a drink.
I don't even know if that's true. If you did that, like the Treasury office had the key to the warehouse.
Yeah.
Like they'll have. If you go to, have you ever been to a distillery?
Yeah.
So you ever see like the section where it's like you can see the clear liquid coming through the still before it goes in the barrels?
Yeah.
And that's always locked up. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But that's locked up.
That's
But I thought
locked
that's where they're validating what the proof is.
No.
And the quantity they're barreling.
Barreling.
You know?
I always thought when they tap the keg or tap the barrel, they put that one instrument in it, and that does the proof.
The whiskey thief?
The whiskey thief.
That's just to get it out for sampling.
Ah, so that's not even.
Yeah, it looks like that stick they put their finger on.
Yep.
Like it's like when you're a kid at your McDonald's, you're pulling your soda out and put it in a different container.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just to pull it out of the barrel.
Ah, okay, that's not doing the proof or anything. Okay.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't. If hey, look, this is a YouTube thing. if we're wrong, put something in the comments down below.
Yeah, pretty much.
So design. What do you think?
Design. Give it a 7.
That's what I've got as well. I've got a 7 for that. My total score ended up being a 79.
Mine's. 77.
That's probably the closest we've had in scores in the last couple of weeks, I think.
No.
Yeah, there was a while where like the scores were like within 1-2, right? And it was fascinating.
Yeah.
But because who cares? You know,
Yeah.
what you're grading things on is just your perception of stuff. That's different than mine. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
I think like we had one episode. It will come out next week after this episode comes out, and it was my dad and both my sons were on it.
Oh, nice.
And that was the Alaskan one, the Denali. And I think the scores for that ranged from like 40 to like 52. That's a 12-point spread. That's a pretty big, difference. But
Between 4 different people? 5?
4.
4.
Well, it was the largest crowd. We had stadium seating. So my dad and I were here, and then we got like my son Andy, and then my stepson Jake is behind that. So it was a real tight frame because there's a lot of people, right? But anyways, that's it for the episode.
That's it.
So until next time from Ordinary Guys Bourbon, cheers.
All right. Cheers.